Friends and viewer, good day. The Moonstone by Wilkie Collins. Wilkie Collins, a famous writer of The Woman in White, had written this novel, The Moonstone. The story of the Moonstones open with the written account of the large yellow moonstone diamond, sacred to Hindus as their centerpiece in their idol of the god of the moon. It has been commanded that 3 Brahmin priests must always guard the stone. John Herncastle, while fighting for the British Army in India in 1799, killed the 3 Brahmins who were then guarding the diamond and took it back to England with him. The novel shifts forward to the mid-80s. Gabriel Beatridge, steward to Lady Verinder, born Julia Herncastle, has been asked by Franklin Black, Lady Verinder's nephew, to write a full account of the events surrounding the theft of the Moonstone from Lady Verinder's house. Sir John Herncastle, a dishonorable man and family outcast, has left the Moonstone to Lady Verinder's daughter Rachel to be given to her on 18th birthday. Franklin Blake has been appointed to deliver the diamond. Franklin suspects that John Herncastle knew that his life was in danger because of the Moonstone and that John had willed the ill-fated diamond to Rachel as a gesture of malice toward Lady Verinder. Franklin's suspicions are further roused when he noticed Indian man following him, both in London and at Lady Verinder's country estate. On the night of the Rachel's birthday, her cousin Godfrey Ablewhite, a famous philanthropist, arrives and proposes marriage to her. Rachel, obviously in love with Franklin, refuses him. Franklin presents her with the diamond, which she wears through a dinner party and then places in her sitting room overnight. In the morning, the diamond is gone and Superintendent Seagrave of the local police is called. Rachel acts strangely, refusing to help with the investigation and treats Franklin harshly. Seagrave proves himself inept and Franklin calls for the famed Sergeant Cuff of the London to take over the case. Cuff suspects Rosanna Spearman, a housemaid of the Lady Verinders and a reformed thief, of having played a part in theft. Cuff believes that Rosanna was working in cooperation with Rachel's Verinder, who stole her diamond to pay personal debts. Several days after the theft, Cuff tracks Rosanna and finds that she has gone to great pains to hide a package and has then committed suicide. Lady Verinder's household is in the disarray at the startling news of Rosanna's death and the incredible news of Cuff's suspicion of honest Rachel's. Cuff is dismissed from the case and Lady Verinder moves her household to London in hopes of distracting Rachel, who seems distraught but will not explain herself. Miss Clegg, a satirical character of hypocritical piety, contributes the next narrative in London and describes the circumstances under which Rachel's reluctantly agreed to marry Godfrey Ablewhite and then broke off the engagement. Mr. Bruff, the family lawyer, next explained that Rachel broke off the engagement because she had information that Godfrey intended to marry her for money. Lady Verinder has recently died and Rachel is now in Heiress. Mr. Bruff also notes the continued presence of the Indians in London, who seems to have tracked the diamond to the bank of one of the money lender, Septimus Luker, to whom the diamond seemed to have been pledged. Franklin Blake, the next narrator, describes his discovery that Rosanna Spearman has left a letter to him that explained the motivation of her suicide. She was in love with him and had concealed evidence that he was the thief of Moonstone. But she killed herself when he continued to ignore her. Franklin is astounded. He has no money of taking the gem, but an interview with Rachel's confirmed that she saw Franklin take the gem with her own eyes. Franklin continues investigating, hoping to clear his name. Ezra Jennings, assistant to Lady Warren's doctor, Dr. Candy, provides an explanation. Mr. Candy fell in the night of Rachel's birthday and had been nearly unintelligible since. But Jennings believed that Candy had given Franklin a dose of opium without telling him in order to settle a dispute about modern medicine. Franklin took the diamond under the influence of the drug, reacting to his anxiety about the safety of the gem. This hypothesis is proven when Jennings staged a reenactment of the night the gem was stolen, and Franklin replicates his action exactly, again under the influence of opium. Franklin is vindicated, and Franklin and Rachel are reconciled and engaged. Back in London, Mr. Proof has tracked the diamond from Septimus Luker to a sailor with a dark complexion. When Franklin and Sergeant Cuff locate the sailor, the man has been killed. The sailor is Godfrey Applewhite, disguised. Cuff correctly determines that Godfrey has been leading a double life. Franklin, under the influence of opium, had given the gem to Godfrey after taking it from Rachel's room and asked Godfrey to store it safely in his father's bank. Godfrey had kept the gem and pawned it for money and had just redeemed it. It was planning to take it to Europe to cut up and sold. He had been killed by the Indians who have returned to India with Moonstone, that diamond, and restored it to the forehead of that ideal. So the diamond which was stolen from India had again, after revolving many times, went back to India and placed again on the ideals, the Hindu ideals. So the title of this story, the Moonstone, it is a romance written by Wilkie Collins, the author. The type of this novel is, it is a novel, genre, Victorian novel, sensational novel, detective novel. It is written in English, so publication 1868. So the narrator of this novel is the Moonstone, feature 11 different narrators. An unnamed cousin of John Herncastle, Gabriel Bittredge, Stewart to Lady Verinder, Miss Clark, Lady. These are the people are the narrator. Point of view of this is the first person according whosoever is narrating. So the tone of this novel, according to narrator, Bettridge narrator, is a tone of provincial good humor. So the setting place of this novel is a Yorkshire, London, India. Protagonist, the hero of this novel, is Franklin Black or Rachel Verinder. Major conflict in this novel, which we found, the Moonstone is stolen from Rachel Verinder's bedroom. Rachel eventually reveals that she saw the man she loves, Franklin Black, steal it. But Franklin has no memory of taking the diamond. Rising action, where the action of this novel rises, Sergeant Cuff is called in to investigate the stolen Moonstone. but his suspicions are disproved and he is dismissed from the case. Rosanna Spearman, a suspicious housemate in Verender's house, commits suicide, seem to have it in a package. Climax of this novel, Ezra Jennings correctly guesses that Franklin was under the influence of opium when he took the diamond. Godfrey Ablewhite is revealed to have taken the diamond from the Franklin and to have pawned it. Godfrey is killed by the Indian, who then take the diamond back. Following action of this novel is Franklin and Rachel are married. The Indians return the diamond to its proper place in the forehead of Hindu idol in India. So these are the themes: subjective experience, objective knowledge, and these are the themes and setting of the novels, of the climax. I hope you will enjoy this. The Moonstone by Wilkie Collins. Thank you very much.